Hello you heroes with a hard-on, Jim Sterling here, and this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm starting with this mission because I thought it was funny. Just the image of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles slowly waddling around with a big block of gold in their hands. So yeah, this is an early mission. Anyway, I really like Transformers Devastation. I thought it was real fun. They took the Generation 1 Transformers, put it through what is now a really very typical Platinum formula. And the results were fun. It was a good game. It was fast-paced, it was communicative with the player. The whole dodging and transforming in combat was very, very fun to pull off. Very enjoyable indeed. This is not that. First of all, they didn't do what I was hoping they were doing, where they take like the old Transformers and modernise it like they did with the G1 Transformers. This seems based on some Nickelodeon show, which, if these cutscenes are anything to go by, isn't good at all. It's very unfunny, makes me cringe a lot. The only joke seems to be, haha, Michelangelo likes pizza, which was a defining character trait of all the Transformers before, but this one really is, haha, Michelangelo can't get that pizza, and that seems to be all of the jokes. Yeah. The characters themselves, the Turtles themselves, don't seem to have much personality. But anyway, that's me reviewing some Nickelodeon show I ain't seen. But it's based off that, it seems. These aren't the Turtles I know. Which is weird, because if it's based on a kid's cartoon, the combat in this game does not seem designed to be kid-friendly. So it's like, it's for... Anyway, actually, I'll get back to that because I need to point out this bit. I included this bit because this showcases the rather lackluster AI. They're all fighting in fire. That fire is harmful to me. That does damage to the player character. I can't get into that fight. The other Turtles decided that was the place to fight, and so they're all in there, and I am not. I was trying to work out ways to get in there, so I was using some of the ninjutsu attacks here. I thought if I did the combo move here, I'd be invincible, but as you can see at the top there with the pizzas, I am losing health, even when I'm locked in a combo animation down there. So the best I could do was run in there, take some health off myself, just to speed that fight up. And that's fairly common in my experience with the game so far. AI is terrible. Your own Turtles are well, they're not useless. They're really good, actually, at kill stealing, getting in the way. If you select the command all out, like anything but follow me, you can't do any of the quote-unquote stealth that the game has. The stealth in this game is on par with the stealth levels in Dynasty Warriors. Yeah, Dynasty Warriors has stealth sometimes, and they're fucking awful. Anyway. Basically, AI is terrible. I've seen enemies run around in circles in the middle of a fight, or like run into a wall and just stay there running in the wall. There is an example of that in this video. Don't hit the guys with sacks, they blow up. I learned that eventually. So yeah, and it's very visually busy, which runs counter to Platinum's thing. Well, Platinum games are often very, in your face. Like, they will just like throw a lot of visual information at the player. But there is a clarity there. They use very, very clear visual cues amidst the chaos to let you know when to dodge an attack and when to counter and all this stuff. You know, I've had no problem dodging attacks in Bayonetta, no problem dodging attacks in Transformers Devastation. Here it just doesn't feel right. First of all, the dodge of the Turtles, like it feels awful. The way they move is just awkward. It's this horrible, weird, swingy feel to them. And you can only do it like once or twice before they get dizzy. Blocking is them spinning on the floor with a shell that you can move around, and again, it just feels off. And it's not like, there's these big fights like this, and there are very, very minor cues that an enemy is about to attack, but it's not like, say, the Arkham games or anything, where there's this very clear visual indicator. And where combat is at just the right speed to be based around counters. Here it's just a mess. It's, fast and chaotic, and there's just tons of stuff, and there's just these subtle flashes. Unless it's a boss, when they've got a huge area of effects on the floor that are so big, you can't avoid them. So it's just, eh. Most of the time, I've found just jumping and doing the slam attack is the best move. Just jumping around, avoids a lot of area of effect stuff. The slam attack is often the most disabling attack you can use. here's some thrilling gameplay. The AI guys will jump in and do that sort of thing, but again, I'm just showing you just how long it can take if you decide to do it yourself. I let them take over for the rest of it, but there you go. So yeah, as you see there, switching between characters at any time. Each of them have 4 ninjutsu abilities, very different abilities. Some of them can heal or do special attacks, all that kind of stuff. If you're together with another one, you can sort of double stuff up, so, you know. And you see there, Michelangelo just shoved me out the way, because they really will play the game themselves. They'll play the game for you, they don't give a fuck. But it can, again, make the game difficult, because, like, more difficult than it should be, because when there's 3 other players that, when they're all bunched together with fast, like, combat going on, it's hard to tell them apart. I'm not being a turtle racist, but they do, apart from, I mean, there's a reason their fucking masks are colour-coded, right? Because they do more or less look the same, and it kind of sucks when they're all together with, I mean, just look at the animations there. There's so much blurring going on, like stylistic blurring. I can't tell who I am half the fucking time. So it runs counter to Platinum's whole thing, this game. That was ridiculous. I don't know why I did that attack there. That was just me and Raphael fighting over who gets to hold the button down. So this isn't necessarily a boss, but it kind of behaves like one, and so far, all the bosses are like this. They are just, it's long health meters. That's their whole shtick. Long health meters, like chopping down a tree with a very small hand axe. And it's dull. Like, this fight goes on for, like, literally, not literally, but it goes on for 10,000 years. And it's not fun. It's not fun. I mean, like that, like, you saw the way the camera was there, where I could just see the guy's legs, like, how is that useful in a game about fucking, you know, presumably following the Platinum method of dodging and all this stuff? It doesn't work out. Yeah. Like, I also realise that in this footage, I'm not playing fantastically. I know that. I don't play a lot of Platinum games fantastically, but I still have fun with them, and I'm certainly not having fun with this. Like, just everything about it, the combat just feels, it doesn't have the flow of other Platinum games. It doesn't have the feel of it. It doesn't feel as responsive. It's just a mess. It just feels messy. There's so much shit going on, but not informative shit, or the important shit isn't marked among the other shit. It's just shit. And even without, you know, even if it wasn't this visually, like, excessive, it's kind of dull, and the missions are poorly laid out and poorly paced, and the levels are crap. Like, it just, everything about it feels so cheap. Feels so cheaply done compared to the rest of it. I mean, hell, Transformers Devastation wasn't super high. There we can see them running into the wall there. Like, even though that was silly and I showed myself getting blown up by hitting the explosive guys, I felt it was important to just show you how the enemy AI works all the fucking time. So, yeah. Transformers Devastation was clearly done. I don't want to go as far as to say on the cheap, but clearly it was not a big budget experience, but they made it work. And this, you know, people have asked me how it compares to The Legend of Korra, which is actually the only Platinum game I've never played. So, if I recall correctly, I've not played a Platinum Games game before now that I didn't like. I don't like this one. It's also 30 frames per second even on PC. It's locked, you know. So if you're playing on PC, you'll want to work on getting that unlocked. This is the only good bit of the game.
Say your prayers, Toidles.
That ends the only good bit of the game, when Rocksteady says, say your prayers, Toidles. Because it's a bit of a callback, innit? I always thought it was Peebop who said say your prayers, Toidles in the arcade game, but maybe I'm misremembering. It's been a long time since I played it. I do want to just go back and play that rather than this. I guess I'm just puzzled. Like, Transformers Devastation seemed like such a winner, and the idea seemed so sound. Like, get the old cartoons and give them that Platinum skeleton, and that just seems like so hard to fuck up. You know, it seems it's like it's a winning combination every time. Like if they'd have made this we'll call it G1, I guess, just to keep it thing. So you know what I mean, like G1 Turtles with a proper Krang and a proper Peebop and a proper Rocksteady, and just did what they did with fucking hell. You could even do similar things with the counter attacks like they did in Transformers, like where they turned into the car and bashed into stuff. Have these guys like fucking pop into their shells and smash into them with the shells. Missed that quite badly. It feels like it, and that could have opened up the opportunities for the other ones. Like when I first heard they were doing a Turtles game, I thought that would be the shit. Like maybe they do that for all of the cool cartoons when I was a kid. You know, fucking Thundercats. Do a fucking Platinum Thundercats, Platinum Mask. Not the Mask. I mean, you know, Mask Crusaders working overtime. All that shit. He-Man, fucking He-Man. Imagine that. Imagine your He-Man. Yeah, He-Man. Imagine that. You can't now because this game's ruined it. Ruined it. Fucking shitty boss fight, shitty Rocksteady. Care about anything anymore. Everything's turned to shit and ash. And I've got to play more of this so that I can review it, even though I just want to play Overwatch with a controller.
Oh man, brain drain. You picked a bad day to mess with me.
Oh god. Controller buttons, that's the sound of if you didn't get it.